You see, one of the soldiers actually drew a line and warned these young men not to cross. Yet one of these boys crossed that line and was shot in the leg. You can look at the video on the screen. You see, this thing can cripple the boy forever. Just in case you didn't know, it can cause a permanent injury, permanent damage to the boy. So I ask myself, is this bravery? Is it courage? Or sometimes people cannot really draw the line between bravery and stupidity. Under what circumstance would you want to continue arguing with a man holding a weapon? Now listen to me carefully. Never argue with an armed man. I recently watched some videos of altercation between some civilians and armed security personnel. I saw one where a police officer clocked his gun while arguing with another security officer. I also saw another one where soldiers had an altercation with some young men at an alleged Galamsey site. You see, one of the soldiers actually drew a line and warned these young men not to cross. Yet one of these boys crossed that line and was shot in the leg. You can look at the video on the screen. You see, this thing can cripple the boy forever. Just in case you didn't know, it can cause a permanent injury, permanent damage to the boy. So I ask myself, is this bravery? Is it courage? Or sometimes people cannot really draw the line between bravery and stupidity. Under what circumstance would you want to continue arguing with a man holding a weapon? Some of us, sometimes I wonder. You see, I was doing my personal research in peace and conflict management, and I came across a narrative that actually changed my perspective about some of these things. You see, when it comes to negotiations and confessions and provocations and all things, one thing you should understand is this. Listen to this carefully. If you hold a gun and I hold a gun, then we can talk about the law. If you hold a knife and I hold a knife, then we can talk about rules. If we both come empty-handed, then we can talk about reason. But if you hold a gun and I hold a knife, then the truth actually lies in your hand. And if you hold a gun or a knife and I hold completely nothing, then what you hold isn't just a weapon. What you hold is my life. Listen to this carefully. I hope you repeat what I just said and listen to it carefully and take this very seriously. You see, under no circumstance should you try to reason with or provoke a man holding a weapon. A person carrying a weapon has almost 50% of his reasoning capacity cut off, especially when he or she is holding a gun or a knife. Careful! Under no circumstance should you provoke such a person. And I will advise you today, what happens when a person is holding a weapon? You leave the scene quickly as soon as you can. You cut everything short and you don't compound situation, because at the moment you are already at a disadvantage. Your life is in his hands, and at that point the person is not thinking rightly, he's not thinking correctly. You can only talk about loss if both of you have something in your hands. Yeah, you can talk about rules if both of you have something in your hands. You can reason if both of you are empty-handed, no weapon. But under any circumstance, should you have nothing and the other person is holding a gun or a knife, should you negotiate? or provoke or insist on your right. No, sorry to say again that you must be the biggest fool to try to do that, to try to negotiate, provoke, or insist on your right when the person is holding a weapon. You must be the biggest fool to try to negotiate or try to insist on your right when someone is holding a weapon. You see, I'm saying this because of some stories I hear on social media and on the news where civilians and security personnel get into altercations and the security officer ends up shooting them dead. Some, luckily, like the Galamsey video that I just showed you, some of them will survive an injury, but then the injury can become a permanent injury for the rest of their life that they have to deal with. A recent one I heard was from a video I watched by Citizen Kojo Jr. He's a YouTuber, and he was discussing the death of one young man. He is called Jeffrey Boachi Dankwa, a 29-year-old civil engineer who was reportedly to be allegedly shot by a soldier because there were some altercation and some argument and all that. And before the guy knew, the soldier had clocked and had shot him. Whatever the legal findings in this case is actually ongoing, and I haven't really taken much detail of it. But then one lesson needs to be learned here. Once a gun is fired, there is no undoing it. And interestingly, I did this video because of a personal experience that I had. Some of you know I was among those arrested during the Stop Galamsey protest in 2024 September, and I have mentioned this in some of my previous videos. You see, during one of our police escorts to court, we were interacting with some of these officers in the bus, and we were saying things like trying to provoke them or somehow, yeah. And one of the officers made a statement that stayed with me ever since. He said that if a civilian resisted or became aggressive during demonstration and some of these things, well, some of the officers are lenient. For him, he would shoot the person and he wouldn't mind, because at the end of the day, what will happen? Nothing will happen. Ladies and gentlemen, let me tell you this, and it's not that I want to condone what some of these security personnel do, but honestly, many of these cases appear to go nowhere indeed, just like he said, especially those involving the civilians and military. These soldier men, some of them, most of them, it goes nowhere. If they shoot you for free. So in most cases, I have to let you know that some of them even get immunity. So careful. If you want to provoke a man holding a weapon, be very, very careful. You see, I don't really know what goes into the training of these security officers, but I always ask myself, what kind of emotional intelligence and training do people carrying firearms go through? I just hope that such emotional management and these trainings actually covers almost 50 or above % of their training and their studies, because this is very important. Because at the end of the day, if care is not taken, people who can't control their emotions but holding firearms will just be using it in an inappropriate way to take people's life. You see, as much as many of our security personnel carry out their duties professionally, and I give them a bravo for that, but some of them also struggle to control their emotions. And all of you listening to me should kindly share this message. You should understand that the line is already drawn the moment you confront an armed person. The moment you confront someone carrying a gun or a knife, not only a security personnel, you should know that the line is already drawn. You don't have to risk your life. You are only being foolish. And let me tell you, if you die as a fool for trying to negotiate or provoke or resist an armed person whilst you were empty-handed. Ladies and gentlemen, I see videos almost every day, and I see someone insulting an armed police officer, someone pushing a soldier who has a gun, someone is daring an officer to shoot me. Hey, to me, that is not courage. That is not bravery. You are just gambling with your life. There are battles you can win in court, but you cannot win after you are gone. If you genuinely feel your rights have been violated, you don't negotiate whilst the person is holding a weapon. For this, I would advise you, and I hope you take it, because If you genuinely feel your right is being trampled on, whatever it is, you can document the incident. You can find witnesses, record it where it is safe and lawful to do so. Report the matter through appropriate authorities. Seek justice through the court if necessary. Do it wisely and smartly. Don't try to prove a point, like I have said, to someone holding a deadly weapon. No, don't be a fool. And I am adding this for some of us who believe life is spiritual also. I can promise you that if your household enemies want to destroy you and cannot get to you, this can become an easy route for them. The devil can push an officer, someone holding the weapon, to pull the trigger even before they come back to their senses. Think about that. So why not be wise? Sometimes wisdom is simply avoiding situations that give tragedy an opportunity. And I have heard that the brave one is not the one that always fights. The brave one is the one who knows when to stop, when to end, when to run, when to seek retreat. You may call it chance because the other day it happened and nothing happened to you. You may call it poor judgment because it's not you. You may call it bad luck. But whatever you call it, the outcome can be permanent. Ladies and gentlemen, being alive is better than winning an argument. So I'll urge you to live first and fight your legal battles later. Ladies and gentlemen, I am Sikadwa Kofi. If this is your first time of watching me, kindly subscribe to my YouTube channel and come back. Let us have another meaningful conversation. At this moment, God bless you, and it is bye-bye for now.